Good afternoon to you all. Well, before we start, I don't know whether you like Garba or not, but can you all just come together with me, stand up at your places, and do some very simple things which are the beautiful characteristics of this dance form. This dance form, if I can tell you, is one of the most popular dances of our country, and it is also the most performed dance in the world. Yes, that is Garba. So can we just simple do the clap and snap on the music with me, please? Yes? Can we have the music, please? Can you smile a little bit? Can you twist a little bit? Can you swing? Yeah. 5, 6, 7. And we turn. And the other way. And last one. And again turn. And last one. And now with me. And forward. Well, as you all were performing, what I could see is a beautiful form of expression coming on your faces. And I'll be right when I make this statement that when you all were expressing, I think none of you all had the idea of impressing anybody. And that is the topic which I'm addressing through my life experiences, that express before you impress. So let me just tell you that being a Gujarati, Garba and Navratri comes very naturally to us. Since we are kids, we have been going to this Navratri festivals and dancing Garba practically all our lives. But the major change came into my life post-1996 when I represented the University of Mumbai at the All India Youth Festival conducted by the government of India, and where I happened to become the national champion, won a gold medal there. Post that, when I visited a Navratri festival, my perspective completely changed at the festival. I felt that there was something missing in the way culture was represented in that festival. Now, we were in a big dilemma. We were left with two choices. One is either to just stand outside and keep cribbing that things are not happening in the right way. Or maybe the second option which we actually chose, which was inspired by the famous quote of Gandhiji, that be the change what you want to see. With that thought process, me and my brother, we started teaching Garba in one of the local suburbs of Mumbai. And now we have grown very much in the last 1 year, and we are now in 18 countries and 65 cities worldwide now. So these are some of the pictures. This is a national record-winning breaking team. The first picture is of that's my dance teacher. So one of the main reasons for me getting into folk dance teaching was she ignited the spark of the real authentic stuff, how beautiful the folk dances are. So that is where the initial thing started from. Now going forward, what happens is, being from a middle class family, that salary coming at the end of the month is very, very important. So there was a huge choice which I had to make, that how do I go ahead in my career. I started working in the corporate world. Majority of my stint has been into the aviation side. I'll just show you some quick pictures of what I have been doing. So the profile which I was working with, I got a chance to work with the ex-prime ministers of the country, the various chief ministers of state, the biggest national and international celebrities, that is Akon, by the way, Ajay Devgan, Vivek Oberoi, you name it, the Akshay Kumars of the world. Everyone I was working with. So what I'm again trying to come back to the topic is, this was a very fantastic profile for me to impress. Going with my parallel career, what I did was I started by teaching Garba as a part-time thing. Anyways, Garba was perceived to be like a seasonal thing. It comes in during the Navratri festival. So we started by teaching 1 month in a year. Gradually, we took it to 3 months, 5 months. But there was always the thought in my mind that, because I was called at the UNESCO's World Dance Congress to speak on Garba, and there with statistics I proved that the most performed dance in the world as far as numbers are concerned is Garba. And there is no other dance in the world which is performed by even 1/10 of that of number. So there was a thing which was always bothering me, that why is Garba just a seasonal thing? So major change came into us when in 2015, we started taking Garba classes round the year. And ultimately, there came a time where I had to decide between what I'm supposed to do and choose as a career between Garba and aviation. Now, obviously, the choice was very, very difficult. But I knew a couple of things back of my mind, that both the careers were super fantastic for me. But with Garba, I can get some change in the society, which I think was definitely needed at that point of time. And the other thing which I actually convinced myself is, which I spoke about the salary factor, I believe in the fact that the amount of money which I have in my bank account when I die is the extra work which I've done in life. So that, again, was a trigger point for me, and I jumped into Garba in the year 2019. Now, gradually, as we were expanding, it was since 1998 as we started, post-2019, and gradually we were having a lot of challenges. Because Garba for us is not just a dance. Garba, we believe that it is a cultural dance, it is a folk dance. It has to be performed in a particular way. The basic characteristics of Garba, what we just did was, is a clap and a snap. Now what happens is something, when it comes free to us, it is likely that we take it for granted. So Garba is so easily accessible to everybody. You ask any non-Gujarati that which is one Indian dance besides your regional thing you have done, it is very likely that the answer is likely to be Garba. Now, that is the good part, but the flip side is that are we doing it in the right way? If we are not doing it in the right way, the scary part is that we are compromising on someone's culture. And when I say someone's culture, I'm not talking about Gujarati culture, I say Indian culture. For a simple reason, I have the latest recognition by UNESCO saying that, recognizing Garba as the intangible cultural heritage to mankind. So do you think we should be very proud of this folk dance? And that makes my statement even stronger, that Garba is no more a Gujarati dance, it is no more an Indian dance. In fact, it is now a global dance. Because I have gone to various places where people outside, whether it's Poland or Italy or Spain, and for a fact, I was called to a city in UK called Halifax, where I took workshops for 300 Pakistani kids. So the responsibility was always there, because I have to present my culture in the best possible way. In the name of expansion, or in the name of fusion, as we were growing, there were other players which were coming in and coming up with different types of dance forms, merging into Garba, calling it Bolly Garba, Salsa Garba, Contemporary Garba, and all different popular step, Gangnam style Garba, Macarena Garba. So I am not against any dance forms, but a fusion will take away my individuality, the authenticity, the original culture which I'm talking about. I go to discotheques very regularly and perform whichever dance forms I love over there. But someone doing that on a Garba thek is compromising not with my culture, but with our culture. There were various opportunities also which came our way where we had to take a very strong stand, because previously I showed some slides where I was working with the most talked about names of the country, but I had to ensure that I continued my career in a way where I can express myself. Just imagine I getting a call from one of the leading newspapers of the country and asking you a straight question, so what's new in Garba? And you say there is nothing new because I don't want my culture to be changing, so it's the same old culture which I'm teaching. And then the next question is, sorry, we can't make an article on you. We felt like we were strongly had to swim against the tide. Just imagine one of the leading television channels of the country calling you and asking you to perform with one of the biggest stars of the country and asking you, so can you do Bolly Garba? And we very nicely say that, sorry, no, we cannot do that. And just imagine the thoughts which will be going in our mind. To cut the long story short, both the newspaper and both the news channel ultimately landed up working with us because we put across our ideology to them in a very, very strong way. So going forward, I understand that, okay, these are the things which make me more further believe that I have expressed myself and ultimately landed up expressing in the bargain. Well, because I have always believed that as an artist, we have two options. That either to give someone something what they want, that is the easiest way out, or maybe believe in something, what I have a thought process, present it to the people in the best possible way, and make them fall in love. That is a slightly lengthy process, but trust me, once you follow that and once you achieve that, there is a different type of satisfaction which you will get. Again, you express yourself also, and ultimately you land up impressing people in the best possible way. Well, gradually, as I said, early days, the journey was definitely very tough because we had to convince everybody what we were doing and why we were doing. But gradually, as we went forward, I think we got a lot of appreciation, not within in India also, abroad also. I'm just sharing a few pictures. In the last 12 years, we have been called to perform at the Trafalgar Square by the Mayor of London at least 9 times. Recently, I haven't got any inside pictures yet, but we were called at the most iconic Royal Albert Hall to perform Garba over there. There are also very small incidents that they wanted to perform on some catchy numbers, but again we put our foot down that we will select songs which have very basic Indian instruments only and not very fancy Western instruments, because if you are doing Garba, we do it in the right way. These are some other pictures which I'm trying to show you is Mayor of London appreciating our work. This picture is very special because just 2 years prior to this, we were felicitated in the UK Parliament House, House of the Commons. Just prior 2 years, we were standing on the bridge outside Big Ben and clicking pictures of the same Westminster Abbey, and in 2 years, we were inside and getting felicitated. This again, same, you name a television channel in the country and they've called us to perform Garba again as per the ideology which we believed in. This picture holds a very special value. That's the picture of my brother. In 1994, as a starstruck fan, we happened to visit this big star's residence, and you see my brother imitating him, what he is doing. And come in 2018, when we performed, the same person comes next to him and imitates him, what my brother is doing. So for me, this is like a small definition of success where we have tried to put across things in the way we want to and getting appreciation from all segments of the society. Whether it's the most talked about wedding of the country, we were there to represent culture in the same way. Well, here is another thing maybe where the young generation would like to hear this is, these are the 3 songs which we happen to be an integral part in creating these songs for one of the icons of Garba, Falguni Pathak ji. So I'll share a quick incident about the Radha Nisham song. In 2018, we were under tremendous pressure that do TikTok videos. And we were like, why? And we were told that just because everyone else is doing it. So I said, surely then I'm not doing it because everyone else is doing it. That is the reason why we ultimately landed up creating our own song. We said that rather than dancing on someone else's song, that is how the first thought process started, obviously supported by a huge team. And now every alternate year we come up creating our own songs. Again, with the belief that express what you want to do, and gradually you will definitely land up impressing. Now, the major breakthrough for me now comes because as we were going ahead teaching Garba in a very unorganized way, maybe classes because it's not an organized industry, the new education policy now coming in, we are very proud to say that we are the first in the country now to get Garba into education. In the very first year, we have landed up teaching close to 5,000 plus students in various schools and colleges in Mumbai as a curriculum. We are very happy to say that with Nalanda Dance and Research Center, we have been affiliated with the Maharashtra State Board that any student who completes a 5-year syllabus will get directly 3% extra in their 10th SSC board mark sheet. So this is the gradual growth which we have done over the last 27 years. Yes, it was very difficult for us, but one thing which we always believed in, that we wanted to express the way we wanted to. And gradually we know that in the long run, when we see that now we are impressing people across the globe, that success is very, very satisfactory. Much, much more satisfactory for us. Thank you.